This video is sponsored by Wing Technology, your ultimate flight sim hardware solution, featuring the Orion hull test, current and future configurations.
Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing very well. Today we're in the Mi-24P Hind and we're looking at navigation. It's just been released June 2021. At this moment we have 4 methods of navigating in this helicopter. 1, moving map, and that involves Doppler. 2, just pure Doppler or ground Doppler. 3, ARK-15 Radio Navigation. And 4, ARK-U2 Radio Navigation. We're going to be looking at moving map and ARK-15 Radio Nav. The ones that we're missing out, pure Doppler, all works fine, but it is a little awkward and specialist, and so I personally won't be using it. And the other ARK, the ARK-U2, is very similar to ARK-15, allows us to find different bands and modulations of radio. So, with the 2 types that we'll be doing, we're going to show it to you in story format, everyone's favourite format. We've got 2 Hinds here. They are going to fly between 3 waypoints, waypoints 1, waypoints 2, and waypoints 3. We're going to do that via moving map navigation. These waypoints have been put in the mission editor. As it stands, there's no other way of adding waypoints at the moment. Once we get to waypoint 3, we're going to find these HEMTs here, land, and resupply them. Once we're down there, we're also going to recalibrate our moving map, because as soon as we start using ground Doppler without the backup of INS or GPS, we'll find that it can become inaccurate very quickly. So we'll recalibrate the moving map at that point. Next, we're going to start using our radio nav, the ARK-15 radio set. And we're going to home into a radio source. It could be any radio source. It could be an aeroplane radio source. It could be a ship. It could be a tank. It could be a runway beacon. In this case, we've got an NDB, a non-directional beacon, which we have here in the Caucasus map. If you can kind of see that sign there, and it's quite hard to see there, it says 525 kHz DA. The particular frequency is 525.00 kHz, and the Morse code identifier is Delta Alpha. So that is essentially going to be our 4th waypoint. We've got to then, once we are navigated to it via radio compass, locate these HEMTs here, VFR, land, and resupply them. And that's the end of our mission. So first we'll have a look at the moving map. Obviously it's in the pilot's seats here. We have 2 zoom levels, out or in. We can see drawn on the moving map are waypoints. Waypoints 1, 2, 3. I also put an auxiliary 4 just to help visualize something. Each of our 1, 2, 3, 4 legs have information written about them. So let's take this leg here. We can see that it is 6.0 kilometers long, and it takes 1 minute to travel at the given speed as set in the mission editor. We can also see that it has a certain heading associated with it. It's that there, 360 heading magnetic. If it looks really hard to read, that's because I've set these waypoints so close together, unrealistically close together, that they've all mushed on top of each other. Hence why I put this big waypoint out here. So from waypoint 3 to waypoint 4, leg 4, it's 84.2 kilometers long. It takes 20 minutes to travel at the assigned speed in the mission editor, and it is on a magnetic heading of 011. Zoom back in. Now the cool thing about the moving map is it's moving. So as we fly these waypoints, this cursor here will update its position. We also have the ability to move / recalibrate our position, because like we said, this Doppler system can be unreliable depending on many factors, like the type of terrain we're flying over, the type of flying that we're doing, and so on. So we can use this wheel here and this wheel here to move it left, right, up and down, and we'll show you doing that once we get to waypoint 3. So the first leg is going to be at, let me just zoom out, it's actually that leg there. Leg 1 is a heading magnetic of 255 degrees for 4.3 kilometers, I read there. One other thing to point out, when using the moving map system, this switch here must stay off, otherwise the map actually seems to work in reverse. Now just be careful, if you follow my cold start tutorial vid that I did, I actually said to put that switch up, but I didn't know at the time it would cause this problem. So make sure this switch here is in the down position. So RC, are you ready to head 255 for 4.3?
All set.
Off you go, sir.
We're off.
And we're off. Yep, the navigation will be done obviously via our HSI here. So you can see we're going to head 255 magnetic. And what we'll do is periodic checks as well on our moving maps, so we can see that our guy is moving, and you can see he is. If you were doing this properly, you would travel at a certain assigned speed, or average a certain assigned speed, and time yourself with a stopwatch. These legs are so small that they don't even register, so we won't bother, but it's how you would do it properly. Now the whole idea when you're placing these waypoints in the mission editor, they need to be verified VFR, so that means that you will put them on things that you can see, on bodies of water, on roads. And you can see I put this on that road. I've actually missed it slightly, but it's essentially more or less supposed to be this road. So you know when you got to this road, you're pretty much... Roger, we're pretty much at waypoint 1. We're making the next turn to 3, 4, 8, as you can see there, magnetic, but 4 points... Sorry to keep zooming in and out. 1 kilometres is just what we have to do. So we're making our HSI 3, 4, 8 magnetic. I'm receiving some complaints that the fan is off. We can adjust that. It is a hot day. I've accidentally gone past a little bit, so I'm going to go back on. There we go. Right, we're coming up to waypoint 2 now.
That's going to be 360.
Roger, due north. Magnetic due north next for 6.0 kilometres. Off we go. So when you're flying this, I would typically have the monitor set up something like that. I don't know about VR, but the monitor, so I can see the HSI, so I can see the moving map, and I've got my, most of my vision there. We're just heading due north at the moment. Slightly annoying as I've got my course needle slightly offset at the moment, but okay, we are halfway along the leg nearly. You can see that I've set waypoint 3 at a nice little intersection there. That intersection where that road meets that road. So we're going to be looking for that VFR intersection, which I think we can see over there. And once we find that, we should find the trucks and we can go and land. So off down we go. So to reiterate, wherever you can, put those waypoints at VFR points. So whatever that is, a big tower, top of a mountain, whatever.
I realize that this approach you have us on this side is wires everywhere.
Yep, how about that?
Perfect.
The valued viewers would not want us to have it easy. That's one thing I can guarantee in life at the moment.
Yep. Uh-oh.
Oh, that's going to be painful.
Oh.
You'll have to get another one.
VRS.
And this is the hardest bit, I think, valued viewers. Setting down, I find so hard in this helicopter. Don't know about you lot. I just find she wants to roll over. Oh, that was relatively good, look. Okay. Collective off. Parking brake on. Okay. Well, 50% attrition rate. Well, we did get there. Next, I'm going to recalibrate. What we can see here is that look how far off already, because of my terrible flying, I will admit. The system is off already. It's miles away from where it's supposed to be, so that's fine. Let's adjust it. We know we're on that intersection point between those two roads, so let's make it so, number 1. Is that what he says? Something like that. There you go.
Sure.
I'm right on that road now. Right, that's the first half of the mission complete. Next, we're switching over to radio navigation for roleplay purposes. We know in the village of Garley that there is a radio transmitter transmitting on Morse code identifier Delta Alpha, I think it was, and we've got to go there and resupply some other emergency trucks. Let's switch over to the ARK-15 set, which is this here. We've also got a copy of it in the operator's position as well. Main mode, off, compass, antenna, loop. It'll be on compass, that's how we're going to use it. Volume up to the maximum. Voice and CW, not going to be relevant at the moment. Channel 1 and 2 is very interesting, and I'll go through that at the end of the video. Next, we've got to tune in the frequency, which, if you can remember, was 525 kilohertz. So let's get that done. Now, this bit, I'm not going to lie, is awkward. You've got to find a special place to press. It's not. There it is. There's one. Look. 5, 2, 5, and now we listen with our ears. There's a good reason why it's not working, valid viewers. I forgot to set this. This is going to choose which radio is actually selected to listen to and transmit on. Just listen to in this case. We want, of course, the ARK-15. You can hear that beeping and dashing. That is, of course, Morse code. If you went onto Google or another search engine and did the conversion, you will find that that will spell out our Morse code identifier. So that is our ARK-15 set and checked. We're definitely on to the right NDB. Next, we're going to go over to and look at our radio compass in this case, which is going to be this radio needle here. That is being driven now by our ARK-15. It's telling us to go on a heading of about 100. Note that it will jiggle about left and right because that's just what radio compasses do. Also, if our aircraft is not flying completely flat in terms of roll and or pitch, it will not work properly. So it'll only be working properly when we are reasonably flat. Also, it will not give us range. This is a read-only system. It is not a send and read system. So it will take us to a target. We will only know when we're at the target because the needle will suddenly spin around. And we can say the closer we get, the more deviation we'll get in the needle. So with all that information now, we've got to go up to the hotel, find the transmitter, which is going to wait for RC, and then we'll head off.
I'm overhead.
Have you set your radio?
Yep, I'm all set.
Wow, how have you done that? Yes, I do. Let's go do some radio navigating. So you can see it's pointing to the east, or just right of east, slightly to the left now. Obviously the 12 o'clock position is when it's ahead of us. Every now and then it goes a bit funny. You saw that, valued viewers. If you know why it goes funny, please let me know. This must be Garley. Note that our moving map is still functioning. It's no use if you don't know where the radio transmitter is. Come on, where are you, baby? Mine's turning. Mine's turning to the right.
Mine.
Mine's turning to the right. It's going to be that building down there. It's going to be that building down there. I found the Hemmets. Look, it's pointing, and it's turned around. Yay, there's the building. Right, I'm going down to land. If we can see a slightly more controlled RC landing this time, that'll be excellent news for everyone. We'll see.
No guarantees.
No, obviously no guarantee. I've got to remember the old sidestep maneuver in case we hit VRS value viewers. No one likes VRS. I think I just found it. Sidestep. Sidestep. Yeah. Look at that.
Out of it?
Yep, just. But I had loads of altitude, so GR and landing helicopters. Not two great combinations.
Hey, as I recall, we did a pretty good video on landing.
Yep, that didn't take many cuts.
Alright, I am down. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Right.
Don't you do it. Getting this thing on the wheels and having it not go over is the hardest
especially
thing.
when it's not level. But not good.
When it's not level. You don't like it level.
I like it level. Helicopter doesn't like it.
Not like it at all. Ah. It's like it's like being landing on a spinning top. Right, we done it, valued viewers. Sorry that took so long and had so much effing and blinding, but she's a bit of a handful. Now, there's important extra stuff, valued viewers. The ARK-15 set has two channels. Channel 1, which is this guy here. Channel 2, which is this guy here. Sorry, please ignore that. The idea is you set two frequencies for two separate NDBs. You would actually set them for inner and outer markers. That's why you'd have them. So for instance, if you had to do an IFR landing, if you couldn't see the runway, you would have radio approach to this marker here, BI. Then you would switch over to marker 2, which would be there, the inner marker. You can get the information, we can see the information there on the F10. You would know how far these markers are out, therefore you know what altitude you should be at, and that's how you can do an almost ILS-esque landing. Now you would do that, of course, with the course knob in your HSI here. You would set it to a certain course, and that's how you would ensure that you are on runway radial. We're not going to show you that because we are nowhere near good enough at flying the Hind at the moment to show you an IFR landing with twin beacons. But that's the power of the ARK-15 set. So if you think these old ration things look boring, they're not. Next is the ARK-U2 set here. It allows us to tune into other freaks that the ARK-15 can't cover, which is great. This stop the system in 15 seconds allows us, if you like, to navigate one leg each. So we can program a certain leg in and get from there to there. And we can program another leg in and get from there to there. Good accuracy with various factors taken care of to keep it accurate. However, it is difficult to use. I certainly don't find it very easy. So that's the basics of the navigation in the Hind at the moment. Anything you want to add, RC?
Nope.
Bye-bye.